Beyond the stereotype scientists and spirituality, the image of a scientist often conjures up visions of logic, reason, and a firm rejection of anything that cannot be empirically proven. Atheism, many believe, is the natural companion to a scientific mind. Yet, a growing number of scientists are challenging this stereotype, embarking on journeys that lead them from skepticism to faith. Their stories offer a compelling glimpse into the complex interplay between the scientific and the spiritual, revealing that the pursuit of knowledge can lead to unexpected destinations. These are not tales of blind faith triumphing over reason. Instead, they are narratives of rigorous inquiry, personal struggle, and ultimately, a profound realization that science and faith are not mutually exclusive. They are, in fact, complementary facets of a multifaceted reality. In this exploration of faith found through the lens of science, we will delve into the lives of three remarkable individuals: Sarah Salviander, Sharon Dirckx, and Richard Gallagher. Each, in their own unique way, exemplifies the potential for scientific curiosity to coexist with, and even deepen, spiritual belief. Sarah Salviander, Finding Faith in the Face of Loss. Dr. Sarah Salviander, an astrophysicist at the University of Texas, once considered herself a devout atheist. Her life was deeply rooted in the empirical world of science, where every phenomenon had to be observed, measured, and quantified. Her world revolved around the observable, the measurable, the quantifiable. The mysteries of the universe, to her, were puzzles to be solved through rigorous scientific inquiry. Faith, to her, belonged to the realm of wishful thinking. It was something she viewed with skepticism, a crutch for those unwilling to face the harsh realities of existence. However, a devastating personal tragedy shattered her carefully constructed worldview. The stillbirth of her daughter was a blow that no amount of scientific reasoning could soften. The stillbirth of her daughter shook Salviander to her core, forcing her to confront the limits of her purely scientific understanding of life and death. The loss was profound, and it left her grappling with questions that science alone could not answer. In the depths of her grief, Salviander found herself drawn to the comfort and hope offered by faith. She began to seek solace in places she had previously dismissed, like the quiet pews of a church and the pages of religious texts. The rationality of her scientific mind initially resisted, yet the depth of her emotional pain demanded a different kind of understanding. She found herself in a conflict between her intellectual skepticism and her emotional need for comfort. She began to explore Christianity, engaging with its teachings and grappling with its claims. The more she read, the more she found herself intrigued by the profound questions it addressed. Slowly, tentatively, a seed of belief began to take root. It was not an easy journey, but one marked by moments of doubt and revelation. Salviander's journey was not a sudden conversion, but a gradual process of intellectual and emotional wrestling. She spent countless hours studying, reflecting, and praying, seeking to reconcile her scientific knowledge with her burgeoning faith. She studied the Bible, engaged in theological discussions, and confronted her doubts head-on. She sought out conversations with theologians and priests, eager to understand the deeper meanings behind the scriptures. Through this process, Salviander came to a profound realization. Faith and reason were not adversaries, but allies in her quest for truth. She began to see that the two could coexist, each enriching the other. The God she came to believe in was not a God of the gaps, filling in the spaces where science fell short, but a God of order and design, the architect of the very laws of physics she studied. This realization brought her a sense of peace and wonder. Her scientific background, far from hindering her newfound faith, provided a framework for understanding the grandeur and complexity of creation. She found that her knowledge of the cosmos deepened her appreciation for the divine, and her faith gave her a new perspective on the universe she had spent her life studying. Sharon Dirckx, Reconciling Neuroscience and Belief. Dr. Sharon Dirckx, a renowned neuroscientist and author, embarked on her academic journey with a healthy dose of skepticism towards faith. Her initial approach was grounded in the empirical and the observable, leaving little room for the metaphysical or the spiritual. Her research into the intricacies of the human brain led her to question the validity of religious experiences, attributing them to neurological processes rather than divine intervention. She explored how brain activity could explain phenomena such as visions, spiritual ecstasies, and even the sense of a higher presence. However, as she delved deeper into both neuroscience and Christian theology, Dirckx began to see points of convergence rather than conflict. She found that the more she understood the brain, the more she saw the fingerprints of a creator in its design. The elegance and complexity of the brain, far from disproving the existence of God, pointed towards an intelligent designer. The brain's ability to process information, generate emotions, and create art seemed to her like a symphony orchestrated by a higher power. The capacity for abstract thought, moral reasoning, and spiritual longing suggested a dimension of human experience that transcended the purely material. These aspects of human consciousness hinted at a reality that could not be fully explained by neurons and synapses alone. Dirckx's scientific training, rather than leading her away from faith, provided her with a deeper appreciation for the awe-inspiring capabilities of the human mind. She began to see her work as a way to uncover the mysteries of God's creation. She came to view the brain as a testament to the creative power of God, a masterpiece of biological engineering capable of connecting with the divine. The brain's intricate networks and its ability to foster consciousness and self-awareness became for her evidence of a grand design. Dirckx's transformation was not a rejection of science, but an embrace of its limitations. She realized that science, while powerful, had its boundaries and could not answer every question about human existence. She recognized that science, while invaluable in understanding the physical world, could not fully encapsulate the totality of human experience. There were aspects of life, such as love, purpose, and morality, that science could describe but not fully explain. Faith, she realized, offered a different lens through which to view reality, one that acknowledged the existence of a spiritual realm beyond the reach of empirical observation. It provided answers to questions that science could not, such as the meaning of life and the nature of the soul. In her book, Am I Just My Brain?, Dirckx eloquently articulates the compatibility of neuroscience and faith, arguing that a deeper understanding of the brain actually strengthens the case for belief in God. She invites readers to explore the profound connections between the mind, the brain, and the divine, encouraging a dialogue that bridges the gap between science and spirituality. Richard Gallagher, a psychiatrist's journey into the supernatural. Dr. Richard Gallagher, a board-certified psychiatrist and professor of clinical psychiatry at New York Medical College, spent decades immersed in the world of mental illness. His career was marked by a dedication to understanding the complexities of the human mind, and he was well respected in his field for his methodical approach and scientific rigor. A self-described man of science, Gallagher approached claims of the supernatural with a healthy dose of skepticism. He believed that every phenomenon could be explained through the lens of science and medicine, and he was committed to debunking myths and misconceptions about mental health. However, his professional life took an unexpected turn when he began consulting on cases involving suspected demonic possession. These cases were brought to him by clergy who were convinced that the individuals in question were not merely mentally ill, but were suffering from something far more sinister. Initially convinced that these individuals were suffering from psychological disorders, Gallagher approached each case with his usual rigor, conducting thorough evaluations and exploring all possible medical explanations. He was determined to find a rational explanation for the bizarre behaviors and symptoms he was witnessing. However, he soon encountered phenomena that defied rational explanation. These were not just cases of severe mental illness. There were elements that simply could not be accounted for by any known medical or psychological condition. Patients exhibited superhuman strength, spoke in languages they had never learned, and displayed an uncanny knowledge of hidden details about Gallagher's life. These occurrences were not just rare, they were unprecedented in his extensive experience as a psychiatrist. These experiences, documented in his book Demonic Foes, challenged Gallagher's materialistic worldview, forcing him to confront the possibility of a spiritual realm that was both real and dangerous. He meticulously recorded each case, noting the inexplicable phenomena and the profound impact they had on his understanding of reality. While Gallagher continued to approach these cases from a medical perspective, he came to acknowledge the limitations of psychiatry in explaining the full range of human experience. He realized that there were aspects of the human condition that could not be fully understood through science alone. He concluded that some cases, while rare and disturbing, could only be adequately explained by acknowledging the existence of evil spiritual entities. This was a profound shift in his thinking, one that required him to integrate his scientific knowledge with a new understanding of the spiritual world. This realization, in turn, led him to a deeper understanding of the nature of good and evil, and ultimately, to a belief in a God capable of combating the forces of darkness. Gallagher's journey was not just a professional one, it was a deeply personal transformation that reshaped his entire worldview. Gallagher's journey stands as a stark reminder that the scientific method, while essential for understanding the natural world, is not equipped to explain every aspect of reality. His story is a testament to the complexity of the human experience and the enduring